Hey, welcome to another episode, and today we are down in Yokohama at the Nissan Gallery. This is the global headquarters for Nissan, and they have a really cool display here today because they finally launched the facelifted R35 in the Japanese market. So they have a nice display here, center stage, with the original GTR, the Hakosuka, and the T-Spec. There's no Nismo on display quite yet, but I just wanted to have a little walk around just to kind of show you the gallery here. This is the customized edition of the Fairlady Z that was unveiled at the Tokyo Auto Salon earlier this year. So this is kind of hinting at what the customized Nismo version of the car will look like and what people can expect it to have, like a carbon fiber spoiler and different wheels, and of course a redesigned bumper, and possibly the R432 old S30Z coloring, so you get the black portion of the bonnet and of course the orange racing color. As we walk past this heritage corner here, which I'll probably have to stop by here and do a much more in-depth kind of walk through the gallery. It's a very special place. I don't have time today because I'm actually picking up this car. So this is finally, I get to drive the new Fairlady Z, the 400Z as it's known in other markets. And what a dramatic way to pick the car up. So I plan to keep this car for a week and just drive it, get to know it, bring it to some really nice roads and just live with it. So I hope you enjoy what I've got coming of this drive. We're very lucky with the weather today in central Yokohama here. So let's get in and enjoy the ride. So I still have the Fairlady Z, and I thought today we'd do something a little bit different. And me and my son Luca here, who's 9 years old. Say hi, Luca.
Hi.
So we're planning to just drop by Costco Japan and pick up some necessities for the family. So it'll be fun to see how this car is to kind of live in a day-to-day kind of manner. All right, so I've used Luca as a cameraman.
Hi.
Hello. So we just did a little bit of a pull now that the engine's nice and warm. What do you think, Luca? It's got good power?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got good torque, right? It pulls very hard in every gear. So I'm in fourth now. If I put it in sixth, at 1,500 RPM, if I floor it, the boost already 0.5, just below 2,000 RPM, boost is already at half a bar, and it starts generating a decent amount of torque for sixth gear. So you can literally use this car in three gears, second, fourth, and sixth. And it sort of reminds me of the Audi RS4 wagon we had that was a nice, a high capacity V8, 4.2 liter V8. And I used to drive that car and start off in second sometimes because it just pulled. There's one issue that I've noticed with this car. This transmission, I don't know what it is. It just feels a bit agricultural. It's very noisy. It's very notchy. It's not fast at all. Also because of the way the throttle responds. You can kind of try to go for a fast gear change, but the revs drop so slowly that it kind of makes you slow down. So we're following this JZX 100 Mark II Grande 2.5. So these are like the Oyaji spec or old man spec cars. There's not that many left because drifters kind of took most of them. Is that gonna fit in the Fairlady? In the Z? What do you think? A bit of Tetris. All right, let's go get some food. Okay, I can barely breathe after that hot dog, but Luca insisted we get what? Pizza as well. Can you seriously eat that?
Yeah.
You gonna try? I got this big beast. Okay, so we've managed to fill up the new Z with a massive shopping trip from Costco. Obviously not as big as some people in the US would do it. But we're done, and you guys got to meet Luca. Say bye-bye, Luca.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so this is my last night with the Fairlady Z, and just to kind of send it off, I've decided to go out for a quick coffee run to Daikoku parking area. It's a Tuesday night, and I'm not really sure if we're going to find much, but even if we're not, it's mainly to get this last drive in and kind of like give some conclusions to what I feel about this RZ34 as it's called chassis-wise. I have to say I'm slightly disappointed, but also quite impressed in the fact that yes, it is based on an older chassis. It's been reskinned with a really nice body. Design-wise, I don't really mind it. I would love to see the aftermarket do something with the front bumper. I'm not really a great fan of the massive gaping rectangular mouth. But you know, after visiting Advance and seeing what they've done with their demo car, what power they've gotten out of it with simple ECU tuning and an exhaust, the thing that makes me happiest about this car is the fact that it's a great platform to start tuning from. So with the 3-liter twin-turbo V6, you have potential for 600 plus horsepower easily, as soon as the market kind of supports that here in Japan. And design-wise, I'm sure there'll be a ton of aftermarket body upgrades, carbon parts, different accents, and of course wheels. From my experience driving this car, I have to say it's more geared towards being a comfortable GT cruiser. It's not a very pin-sharp sports car like the GTR is, and it was never supposed to be in the first place. It's definitely kind of creating that GT cruiser feel, very comfortable, very easy to live with. I even did a Costco trip with my son, and we managed to fit everything in the trunk, so it's a great all-rounder. I would love to kind of feel what a few slight upgrades would do to this car. I would really probably the first thing I would do personally would be a clutch, because I don't like the way this manual transmission feels with the current OEM clutch. So a lighter flywheel, something a bit snappier in engagement, something that maybe lets go lower down on the pedal, that would get a little bit more feel through the whole car and the driveline. An LSD to kind of wrap things up at the back, a decent suspension. I've noticed extreme wheel hop when you start spinning the tires and try to get the car sideways. It is pretty smooth and progressive, but at the same time, it definitely lacks a little bit of finesse when it comes to geometry. So I would spend a lot of time kind of fixing up that side of things. Engine-wise, I think this engine is going to respond very well to modifications. Just to kind of get that extra 20% that the OEMs always kind of leave for safety and reliability. The interior, this ST model, as it's sold and called here in Japan, not really what I would go for. I would probably go for the S, which kind of gives you the more run-of-the-mill seats. I would want to kind of replace those with something aftermarket, something a bit more sporty with a bit more kind of like, a bit more support basically. But yeah, I mean, I come away excited for what tuners are going to be doing with this car. I'm sure, shops like Top Secret, Advance, and, a ton more are going to be doing great things with it. I'm sure traction control will have to kind of be taken into the equation with kind of aftermarket ECUs, because when you start pushing 600 plus horsepower through the rear wheels, it's going to get sketchy pretty fast. So you know, I'm really impressed. I'm really happy that this car exists. I would love to kind of build my own. Maybe that's something we can kind of think about in the future, but the only thing I want to really try is the automatic version. There's a 9-speed auto available too. That will be one of the next cars I borrow from Nissan. Just to feel what that is like. It'll probably be even easier to live with in, you know, Tokyo traffic. But you know, big thumbs up to Nissan. They've done a great job. The car looks amazing. I've been getting an amazing amount of feedback from people, something that doesn't really happen in Japan often because people tend to be quite quiet. But I've had people come up to me and ask if this is the new Z, how did I get it so quick, and stuff like that. Lots of positivity there. So I'm just kind of looking forward to see what the aftermarket is going to do with it. All right, here we are at Daikoku parking area on a Tuesday night, and it's this full. You really never can kind of predict what you're going to find at Daikoku. So we'll take a quick coffee break and head back out on the Wangan. Okay, this is sort of embarrassing as an Italian to drink coffee like this, but what are you going to do? Oh yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this slightly different video, and let me know in the comments what you thought.